Hopefully you guys can hear me. Can I get a sound check? Tell me if you can hear me. Sound check, 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 check. My mic sounds nice. Check one. Alright, let me get in here. Make sure the live stream is actually working. Let's see. Content. Live. And this one. This guy's live right now. Who'd have thunk it? All right. Bueller. All right, my YouTube, what's up? How you doing this evening? Excuse me. Okay. So, let's see who else we can get to join. My guys, yo! Look, I just want to let you know, I am rocking the Dash Vodka bottle. There is no Dash Vodka inside. You know, I made light work of the Dash Vodka that was inside, but we held on to the bottle. Hello to the first lady. How you doing? So, how is everybody doing? Let's see who else we here. Marcus is here. My YouTube, he said, I made my first video. Nice. Hey Sam, what's going on? How you doing this evening? Shoot, trying to get my straw down in my ice here. What up, Justin? Marcus is hey, Miss Harris. Oh. Whoops. 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 I think I'm gonna take some indigestion medicine right now. There might be some indigestion happening in a little bit. Absolutely. Justin, hopefully all is well with you. Barbecue with Neil. What's going on, Neil? I like your thoughts, everyone. Okay, on. He says, hey, hey, hey. There is liquor and energy drink. This is one of those nights. What up, Jimmy? He says, hey, yo, what's up? How you doing? Jimmy, you know, I dug into the stash tonight. This is this Dash Vodka bottle, but you know, there's clear inside. This one is kind of low proof. This one was probably in the 75 to 80 range. It's a little low test, but it'll get the job done. What up, Rick? He says, hello, hello, hello. Every time. Neil says he's just hanging out. Nice. Justin said he posted a TikTok and it got 2,000 views in 2 days. Nice. I'm not gonna lie, I've been spending more time on TikTok lately just to pass the time. You get that rabbit hole, you go down that rabbit hole and just, dude, some of the folks on TikTok are so damn creative and they're so damn funny. You can't help but continue to watch people. I mean, I don't know. It is a awesome outlet for people's creativity still. And I mean, it's just awesome. Hey, listen, if you have not already hit that thumbs up button for me, I'd greatly appreciate it if you could. It really does help me feel better about doing these videos. It also helps these videos themselves, and it helps my channel. And you know, here's the next thing: it doesn't cost you guys a thing. Can you guys hear me okay? can you just post in the chat that you can hear me all right? And everything sounds good. Just want to make sure the earbud microphone is working properly. Figured I'd double check. All right, my YouTube, what is your name? I know you've said it before. Was it like Craig or Chris or what is your name? My hands are dry. Joe. All right. Just, we got Joe, we got Jimmy. We got a half naked taste tester.
I ran into the bed frame.
Oh. I was waiting for that to happen.
With my face.
I figured.
Oh.
You got to clean up the room so you can get that bed in there.
I'm sorry?
You got to clean up the room so you can get the bed in there. Are you okay? You need some ice?
I'm sorry?
Do you need some ice?
No,
I thought you said you hit your head, not your ears. Why can't you?
Right here.
Oh.
On the side of my head.
Oh.
As I looked to my right and I smacked back to it. While I was moving fast.
All right, well, I'm glad you're okay. All right, guys, so tonight we have a topic, and it came to us from one of you guys, basically. So I was talking with the blue-collar millennial, and he was asking my opinion on giving away food, while catering, trying to get his business kind of off the ground. All right. Neil said he can't hear you just fine. Okay. Hopefully you can hear me just fine. Rick says nothing but jokesters and half-naked women on TikTok is absolutely some people. Oh, it absolutely disgusts some people, but not me. I don't know what, because there's all different levels of TikTok. I happen to see like 1,000,001 comedians. Like, I don't know. I see folks telling like hella stories. So I end up seeing, people doing pranks and, the oh no, and they falling off of stuff or breaking something, or, like electricians pranking the younger journeyman and, stuff blowing up, or one of my favorites that I see every now and again, or I feel like all the time, customer states when it's a mechanic and they're like, how the hell did this vehicle make it into this? Dude, I saw a TikTok of it was a Buick. It had a hole in the block like this big, darn near no oil, and the vehicle drove into the shop under its own power. And the customer stated that it had a loud knocking noise coming from the engine. Dog. Greg says, what's good, Dash? Oh, good on sound and thumbs up and such. Thank you, sir. Jared says hello from Davis Barbecue in Davis Barbecue in Davis, California. Well, that's what's up, man. I'm taking a sip of my Shine and my energy drink there. Blind Man Cooking, he says, hey, Dash and everybody. Hope the barbecue week is going well. I don't know about barbecue. I'm trying to think. I thought about cooking something outside, but it's cold, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting old, and I'm not trying to be cooking in the cold as much as I used to. All right, Neil says he can hear me just fine.
I'm sorry?
He swears I'm talking to him, but I'm not talking to him. You guys know you have my attention, not undivided, because this one keeps bugging me. But you guys have my attention. Anyway. Hopefully all is well with you guys, but I wanted to kind of kick it off and start talking about this topic we have at hand. So Blue Collar Millennial, he hit me up the other day and he says, hey Dash, do you think it's a good idea for me to give away food at my church? Or, let's go and get the actual comment. Let's see if I can find his comment. And I'll kind of go back and forth and tell you guys what I told him, right? What my reply was. So let's see. Okay, he says, so in your opinion, I gave free food to the church. Is that smart or a bad idea? I'm just trying to get my food out there and have different people eat it. And me, I usually reply to this in about the same manner, right? I replied and I said, so this is a double-edged sword. On the one hand, it allows folks to try your food, and on the other, it sets the expectation that you are willing to give your food away. You have to get to the point that folks want to sample and pay for your food, it's a fine line. And he says, he replied and says, that's what I thought too. So it's hard. It's hard because you have to get your food out there. You have to get your name out there, and it really is no way to get your name out there without some sort of sample. There's just almost no way unless you are sampling your food. But the thing is, you can't give away more food than you can make back in the ability to make something back. I know that sounds convoluted, but I'm basically what I'm saying is you don't need to give away a whole rack of ribs. You can give away one rib, or you can give away an entire rack of ribs to 12 or 13 people that have different opinions and things like that. You don't want to give away, a whole pulled pork sandwich. You can give away a little, like a 2-ounce cup, a 2-ounce taster, a 2-ounce tester, basically. Just a sample. But you don't want to give away like a whole brisket. I mean, I know Brian from Patriot Barbecue. He talked about how he would give away like whole briskets to specific organizations, or like a firehouse, or to this particular somebody in the community. And I'm like, okay, that's all well and good, but like, I don't know. I again, it's a slippery slope. What do you guys think? What do you guys have to say about that? So Gerald says he's trying to get into offsite catering. So let's try and so Gerald, what I try to do in the first hour is talk about the topic at hand, and then in the second hour that's when we kind of talk about almost anything. So if you can hang around, and maybe we can talk about offsite catering, how to get into it. Hold on one second, guys. All right. I only give away food after comp turn in. All right, Greg. Blind man says, what temp were you at? What's the temp where I am? It has been in like the high teens and low 20s at night, and just above, like hovering right around freezing. So right about 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Greg says I only give away food after comp turn in. So even then, I don't know. I mean, but competitions are different. People go to a competition, and they aren't necessarily like the people who you're probably feeding at the competition are your competitors for the most part. But do tell me if you are having people who would be buying food or tasting and sampling food that hang around at the competitions. Dog, what are you doing? All right, because that's like the 5th time you've been in the refrigerator in like a minute. All right, let's see. They could have gotten a donation receipt if they were a 501(c). So if I am... Oh, I guess what you're saying is you basically could write off the donation of the food, or the cost of the food, to the... I mean, most of the time people starting out, they're not going to be in that deep and be able to do stuff like that. I mean, to be honest, they're not going to do that. Good night. Do you need to get up early?
Yes, please.
What time?
5:30 to like 5:45, if possible.
I'll see what I can do, because
Or like 5:45.
I don't get up until 5:30.
Yeah, 5:45 to 6.
I'll wake you up before 6.
Hey.
Jeremy, he says, what's up? You tried the peanut milk sugar, peanut butter, and milk in a blend? No, I have not. I just haven't. Future Webcam says, hey Dash, good to see you. Same here, man. Good to be seen. Laura says, hey Dash, I'm still here. My truck never showed up. I have it in a text, 10 a.m. on the 31st. So looking for a new company. Oh no, so sorry, Laura. Greg says, I've done portion samples for select customers. All right. So Rick said, when running the food truck, I gave small taste samples only. When it's ribs, I'll cut some rib meat off of the bone and give them a taste. That unless it's a small rib and at the end of the rack. Yeah, that's a good idea. So even if you were to trim up that last rib or two and take the meat off the bone so you can kind of have just like a, you know, they just need to have a taste, you know, just a nip, all right? You don't have to give them, I mean, I said a whole rib, but you don't have to give them a whole rib. So Jimmy said, I found out quick that people I gave food to were the ones who kept saying, when you have leftovers, call me. Yep. And basically, so hey, whenever you have anything left, let me know so I can come and get it from you. So it won't go bad. No, I'm not offering to pay you anything. You know, you can give me the leftovers that you don't want. That's what I'm talking about. The slippery slope. He's already upstairs, Laura. Yep, I've gotten customers from local comp. Okay. Neil says, I think it's okay to give out samples to people to get them hooked. If they like it, tell them you can make it for them for a price. Hell yeah. Mark Henderson, how you doing? Jacqueline, Steven and Jacqueline. Steven says, hey, yo, Dash, good evening. And good evening, everyone. Yeah, Laura, that does sound horrible. You know, it's really, really horrible that, you know, you can't count on people sometimes. Let's see. Mark said a sample and a taste are different. I make chili, so a spoonful is just a taste, but I don't give a sample bowl of chili. There you go. So, and then Mark adds a very unique perspective because he does chili. So where I can say, okay, you know, I do pulled pork, right? So I won't say in the beginning, but when I used to do, like, when I was doing pulled pork and selling pulled pork, like out of the trunk of the car, I used to put the pulled pork in 8-ounce containers, 8-ounce cups, right? The 8-ounce cups. I don't know why. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But then what I would do is I would take one of those, like a pound, and put them into 2-ounce cups, so that when I was out and about, if I saw someone I knew, or well, not knew, but saw someone I wanted to try it, hey, look, here's a sample. And I mean, I did that in a very limited scope, because, you know, you just have to give folks that sample, just that teeny little bit, and if the food is good, it'll speak for itself, and it's going to do the work for you. El Barrio Cooker says, hello, everyone, and cheers. Salud. All right. Laura's making coffee. Oh, no, man. Had to buy a mug, borrow a kettle, and eating cold food. Oh, real. Oh, I'm so sorry, Laura. Laura's supposed to be moving, and she said her moving truck never showed up. Dang. That sucks. That sucks. I'm so sorry for you, Laura. Man, oh man. So what else do you guys have to say about this particular topic? You know, giving out free samples, giving out food. So I was, Blue Collar Millennial hit me up about this 2 days ago. I was gonna say yesterday, but it was 2 days ago, and I replied to him yesterday. That's why it was fresh on my mind. So I ended up talking to Marcus yesterday from Crimson Creek, and I said, I'm like, wait a minute, what did you guys do when you first started? You know, were you giving away food? He was like, yeah, we were. He said, but we were giving away too much. He was like, we gave away whole racks of ribs or whole pulled pork sandwiches, and, you know, like a whole, like we were giving away entire orders of food. In the long run, it paid off. In the short run, it was nerve-wracking. You know, I won't say to say the least, but that's what it seemed like from the interactions and from, you know, what Marcus was saying. Because, you know, you're putting all this money out and you're not seeing any money come back in because you're just giving, and all you're seeing is, you know, like your savings or your savings go down or your credit card go up, whichever way, you know, the shoe fits, basically. Taylor, he says, hey, yo, I hope you are all well. Yes, indeed. Hopefully you're well. How is the missus doing? How far along is she, Taylor? Neil says, what I'm not sure is how do you know how much to charge for a brisket or pulled pork? I've had people ask me, but I don't know how much to charge. So, Neil, let's do some math, right? And I talk about this, and I've talked about this before, but it's one of those things that is, I mean, let's be honest. It's 2022, and I really feel like the videos that I did talking about this, I need to update them. Okay, maybe I just need to do that. I've been trying to figure out some things to film and things to do, and maybe that's the next thing I need to do. Just update my frequently asked questions. So one of the most frequently asked questions I get is, how much do I charge? Okay, and Neil, the thing is, she's well enough found out it's gonna be a boy. Nice, tell her congratulations, sir. I was gonna say 16 weeks. Oh no, you haven't found out yet. Usually that's 20 weeks, but I guess you found out early. Well, congratulations, sir. So Neil said he wants to know how to find out what to charge, right? So right now, for instance, brisket is about, for me in my area, brisket is costing me about $5 per pound. Now, common restaurant wisdom says that you take the cost of your food and you multiply it by 3. So I'm going to try to say this slowly so that you can kind of write this down and get this information, and then have it and be able to refer to this later. So you take the cost of your food and you multiply it by 3. So that would be a $5, $5 per pound is what the brisket is costing me, which means I should be charging $15 per pound. So you think. What happens though is when you purchase brisket, you get a 50% loss in that meat. So that meat, once it's cooked, it has a cost of $10 per pound. Okay, then $10 per pound times 3 is going to be $30 per pound. So in order for you to make all of the money that you need to make on your brisket, you need to be charging. Now again, if your brisket costs you $5 per pound, you should be charging $30 per pound. I don't know about you, but I know my brisket is pretty damn good, and I don't think I could get $30 per pound. Like could I? Yes. Would I feel right charging somebody $30 a pound? No. So the last few times I've done brisket, I've charged $25 per pound. $25 per pound versus $30 per pound. You think it's not that much, but it adds up quickly. When you have 5 pounds of brisket, that's another $25, $30 sometimes in the cost of just brisket. You think about it, when somebody's already paying, $100, $125, $150 for 4 or 5 pounds of brisket. I mean, it gets expensive quick, right? In a quick, fast, and in a hurry. So I have been losing money, losing profit. I won't say losing money because I always get my money back, but I've been losing profit to make a sale, to keep my customers happy. Because I know for sure I have someone that wants brisket and she wants chicken wings for Super Bowl Sunday. And either I can find her a teeny tiny brisket, or it's just not going to be any brisket because it's too expensive. Now she's one of my customers that says, I don't care what it costs, just make it happen. I want the brisket. Some people are like that. Mark said, I'm looking at doing something different, selling chili as part of a meal planning. So this summer, I may go to food festivals and give away small 2-ounce samples to attract customers. Yep. I wouldn't give away anything more than like a 2-ounce, because that's more than that's like a spoonful and a half, maybe 2 spoonfuls. KB says, well, look who's here. Hello, Dash and Peeps. Yeah. Tell us just thanks. No problem, man. Congratulations again. Seriously. Greg says, never give away any more than you can't very easily absorb. As far as, yes, so don't give away more than you can absorb in a cost of the other profit you're making, right? At the end of the day, you're running a business. Your business is not going to be successful if you are losing money. If you're hemorrhaging money, no one wants a business to lose money. Now, in the beginning, you are going to lose money, or could possibly lose money because of operating costs and startup costs and things like that. But, that's not your goal, So, El Barrio says, if you look at my Facebook, every time we do a pop-up, all my pre-orders qualify for a giveaway, a whole rack of spare ribs that cost me $1.77 a pound. It motivates people. I usually do 2 winners per pop-up. See, now that's something a little bit different, because and I because of the fact that I'm limited in the space in the title, I couldn't specify giving away free food to get your catering business started. So El Barrio, you are giving away free food as an incentive to drive sales. That's a little bit different. You are covering your costs because the whole thing is, one, you're not throwing darts in the wind to try to guess on who's going to purchase what. You have a great foundation or a great roadmap to say all these people pre-ordered food. I mean, you get a dozen pre-orders. Okay, I know that I'm selling these amount of ribs, this amount of ribs, this amount of ribs, that amount of ribs. I might be able to get, let's say you do baby backs or you do spares, right? Excuse me. If you have 12 orders, all right, well, you have at least, a dozen spares. You might cook 20 spares because, a couple people going to float in, or people might ask for another rack, or, the winner basically. So, do you give them their rack for free, or do you just give them an extra rack? Like, how does that work out? But I'm more talking about giving food away on the startup side, not necessarily when you're already established, because, using it as an incentive to help drive sales is a fantastic tactic. So Mark says brisket is a hard sell. A lot of people don't want to pay the fair price. You're absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. And here's the thing, Mark, you know what I had to understand, and a lot of people don't get it, is you have to charge what you have to charge because you are ultimately paying. I mean, the cost of meat has doubled. I was charging I charged $16 per pound for brisket for a very long time. And as the price of brisket went up, I went up from $16 reluctantly to $18 per pound. And then I reluctantly went up when it was over $5 per pound for brisket. I stopped selling brisket. Like, I'm not offering it to people because I'm like, listen, you can't afford it right now. Like, I'm not willing to buy it for you. And there were some people that were like, nah. Like my uncle was like, man, cook, I want a brisket. We haven't had brisket. My fiance and I want brisket. And I'm like, all right, Uncle Calvin, look, I got you. And he's one that's like, I don't care what it costs me. Just make my brisket, damn it. So, but like I said, I feel bad charging because I'm like, yo, even though it's a sign of the times, man, but it doesn't make me feel warm and fuzzy. Like, I felt warm and fuzzy being able to say, okay, it's going to cost, I can say, all right, Uncle Calvin, it'll cost you $15 a pound when I'm charging everybody else $18 a pound. Or my aunt, my favorite aunt, who's out in, Pittsburgh, same thing. If I'm like, all right, your cost is going to be this, and you guys have seen me ship, I'll see me ship briskets and stuff to her. She'd be on like one of the first people to be like, what does this cost? You didn't charge me enough. I'm going to send you extra money. And I'm like, whenever I got you. Listen, I am happy that you are supporting me. You're willing to support me. So the least I can do is, I don't mind offering someone a discount or giving someone a discount or a break if you're willing to pay full price. But when you approach me asking for a break before I even part my lips to tell you what the price is, nah, you paying full price because you already trying to devalue what I'm doing, and that's not cool. So let's see. Rick says, now when I go to construction sites, I'll hit the on-site office trailer and give away 3 or 4 barbecue sandwiches to the big dogs, and I'll sell 30 to 50 to the workers, basically giving away food to let me sell there. And you know what, Rick, that's the cost of doing business to me, because if I were to go to a food truck rally, right, you have to pay the host of that venue, that site, in order to be one of the trucks that people can come and buy food from. So 4 or 5 sandwiches in the grand scheme of things, that's 10% of your profit. And here's the thing, you don't have to make the 5 sandwiches that you're giving away as big as the 50 sandwiches that you're selling. Just saying. Lou, what's going on, man? I didn't forget about you. I saw you there waiting patiently. Lou Calamatis is in the building. He says, hey, yo, what's up, Dashing fam? He said he got lucky tonight. My axle broke on the highway. Everything went my way. Someone up there likes me, I guess. You know what my mom used to say all the time? She said, God looks out for babies and fools. Hey, you don't look like a fool. I mean, you don't look like a baby, fool. Something along those lines. You know, it was like one of those backward compliments to call you a fool. Let's see. Sean says, what up, what up? Driving, but I'm listening. Well, that's what's up, Sean. So, Sean, you know what? There was something I wanted to ask you. So, Sean is a CPA, and he has been talking about the IRS and you know, like he's growing his channel. So if you have not checked him out, he is Sean R CPA. Highly recommend it. He is doing like 3 to 5 minute videos, and he's talking about different aspects of, like, I won't say lesser known, but you know, uncommon tax stuff. Because I know I do my own tax. Look, I wanna show you this. It's like, make sure no addresses are shown. This is my pile of tax documentation that I have to go through. There are, what is this one? This is a 1099K. I think. No. This is a 1099 miscellaneous. That's my YouTube money. Crazy. This is my the information because of my group life insurance, group plan insurance. This is my wife's W-2, a W-2 from the range. This is 401k stuff, mortgage insurance. Let's see, this is the bill. This can go out of the file. Here's some stock insurance, stock interest. So that's a 1099 INT. This is a W-2 for my son. So I just put it in the pile. Let's see, look, that's airbag settlement. Form 1098, mortgage interest stuff. Another 1099 or W-2 for my wife. And this is just other mail that got mixed in. Oh, then, you know, the IRS says, hey, remember that money? Oh, you know what it is? The IRS took forever in giving us our return last year. So, I mean, 4 to 6 months, we not waited, but it took a while for us to get our return last year. To the point where we got interest. They paid us interest. So you know what we got to do now? We got to pay interest on we got to pay income on the interest that the IRS gave me because the IRS took forever to get my money back. Ain't that some stuff? Ain't that some stuff? This is more. This is another 1099 INT from stocks, and then this is another 401k thing. My wife transferred some 401ks from one to another. So I mean, yeah. Let's see. So El Barrio says, I give him a little extra. I'm doing Super Bowl party packs, whole slabs of ribs and chicken wings for wing 30 for the ribs, 15 for the wings, $20 free fries. Okay. That's the commission. Yeah. So so commission basically is how YouTube pays me. They used to send me a 1099 what is it? Like a royalty check? Like they used to pay me in royalties or whatever the form was. I don't know. The form number changed because it used to be like yeah, I think it was 1099R maybe. I don't know, but I can't remember. Terry, what's going on, man? Yeah. So, Rick said, Terry, you can't be using my opening line, man. Sean said he just hit 49 subscribers. Hell yeah, man. So again, that's Sean R CPA. Dude, I mean, I'm digging his channel. I'm digging the information. It's poignant. Like, it's stuff that, okay, yeah, I knew something about that, but I didn't know that particular aspect of it. And now it's just like, well, now I know how all these, big wig cats, like, this is why I need a damn accountant. Like, for real, for real. I need an accountant because I'm leaving money on the table. I know I'm leaving money on the table, and there's loopholes that I know nothing about. And that's what, I don't know if that, per se, that's what the IRS is counting on. But I mean, I know, listen, I'm not hurting for a return, but a bigger return is, yeah. So always better. Greg says, yeah, when I was selling $18 chicken, I had a time, yeah. Yep, unfortunately, that's common now. Laura's back, heck yeah. Sean J, CPA. So, see, Sean R there, so, anyway. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that for looking at him. I'll let your boy Sean, man. You tempted me. I just might, man. I just might, cause, dude, I got some paperwork. I got some paperwork for real. JK4Fam says, how do you start catering? I love cooking, but my food is really spicy. Well, first and foremost, you can't have food that's spicy and want to cook to or sell food to a broad market. When you you pigeonhole yourself like that by saying, oh, this is what I'm cooking and it's spicy, there are lots of people who don't eat spicy food. So you have to be careful and, broaden your horizons more or less by appealing to the masses. You have to cook like this. And for those people who like stuff spicy, you can say, here's an option to add some more spice to your food. Here's an option to add some more salt to your food. Here's an option to add some more pepper to your food. But I'll leave those things to you because I have to cook for like the 80% of people who eat. The other 20% or 25% or 30% who want to slather with barbecue sauce or who want to, add hot sauce or who want to, add extra seasonings or stuff like that. You have to let them make those choices. So yeah, just, go from there. What happened, Steven? I saw you, at least I thought I saw you. Let's see here. Let's see if I can find it. Sean J, CPA. H. Oh, should be CPA, not CPZ. Alright. 51 subscribers I see now. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. Alright, Steven, I see. Steven had it in there. Look at that, man. Steven is a rock star, I swear. Sean J CPA, who is Sean R. Look at him. And there's his channel. Try, that's what I'm realizing. Appreciate Ty. Yeah, thank you, that's what I'm realizing. So the whole thing, so hold up. Alright. Text message. Oh. Oh, alright. So I bought something from my brother and he sent me a receipt. I'm like, what the hell is this text message? But I had to realize what the store name was. So that's what's up. Alright, it looks like he is working out. Anyway, so Steven helped out. Thank you, Steven. Appreciate you. So JK for fam, he says, thank you. That's what I'm realizing. I appreciate the feedback. Yeah, man, you gotta remember that you need to cook and have things that are good in flavor, but they can't be too salty, they can't be too spicy, they can't be too anything. So that's how, you go to a restaurant and like sometimes food can just be blah, right? You go to a buffet and the food is just blah and you have to add some more salt, you have to add some more pepper, because the whole thing is they're cooking for the masses. And I mean, not for nothing, some people don't use seasoning. They don't know what it is, so bless their hearts. But you start putting, like my brother, My brother, I could put too much pepper on something, and he'd be like, "Ooh, that's spicy." I'm like, "It's pepper, dog. That's not spicy, like at all. That's flavor. That's spicy." There are people like that just they built different. You can't. You might like a hell of a lot of spice, but you can't cook that for everybody. Like it's just not gonna work. Uncle Bull, he says, "Hey Dash, what's going on, Uncle Bull? How you doing this evening?" No problem, Sean. Like I mean, dude, I like what you're doing. Like no BS. I find what you're doing informative, and it doesn't take up much of my time. And I'm really digging. I know how much work those, not jump cuts, but those image or the video clip overlays, like finding the right overlay and finding the graphics that you're looking for. I know how much time that takes, so I can appreciate all the effort you're putting into those videos, and you're just starting out. So I know it's hard because you got to get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. So my suggestion to you would be, don't make a video less than 5 minutes if you can. Only because a 4-minute video and a 5-minute video, the difference is going to be a lot of hours in watch time over time, if that makes sense. So just maybe slow down what you're explaining, or try to take an extra sentence and explain something a little more. Or I wouldn't say offer advice, but maybe you can say, "Hey, if you have any questions about the topic, maybe shoot me an email or something like that." Like offer help, ask for the subscription, ask for someone to share. Those things take up time and they make your video take longer. All right. What up, Al? He says, "Loud and clear, good buddy." All right. What up, Johnny from MTG? How you doing? Hopefully you're healing up. Neil says, "I'm happy. I got 53 subscribers. Nice." All right, Al. He says, "Hey, yo, Dash." Yes, I'm a few moments behind on the comments. Usually, I always are. He said, "LOL, bless their heart." Yes, bless their heart. Yo, key example. Steven is he's in Trinidad. He's in Trinidad and Tobago, and that dude cooks with scorpion peppers like it's nothing. So he would be your audience to say, but you know what? Again, you can cater to both. You cook generally for the people who can't, who don't know that they like spicy, or they don't know how spicy you want something, and then you say this is available in a heat level of, like, there's a Thai food restaurant up the street from my house, right? When you order the food, they say, "How spicy do you want it?" on a scale of 1 to 10, like every time you order something. And you can say, "Oh, medium spicy, so like 5. I usually go with like a 7 or an 8. Like I'm good with spice. Like I am. Indigestion be damned, but I'm good with spice. As I'm like, and gosh, it hurt me. It's like the Y word, I start talking about it and then it happens. But anyway, maybe you have to set up a spice level sheet or a spice level question when you're taking orders, and then you can cater to both ends of the spectrum. All right. Jimmy said he's got 54. Oh, 54. Neil's got 54. Let's see. Neil, where is Neil? Come on. Shimon, Cletus? Where the hell? Why can't I see? I'm looking for Neil in the comments so I can. Here we go. Nope, this one. Alright. Bingo. Alright, so sorry, lost in the comments there. Let me get back. So JK for families, like, bless their heart. Yes indeed. The Living Legend says, have you ever cooked the beef shoulder clod? I did a 20 pounder. I think I like it better than brisket. Maybe cook that instead of brisket to sell. So here's the thing. Beef shoulder clod is something you can get where you are, but not necessarily I can get where I am. I have heard and seen people cook shoulder clod. The person or one person I saw cook it was Greg from Ballistic Barbecue, and he was like, it took him quite a long time to cook that big old piece of meat. And then here's the next thing. If I cook a 20-pound piece of meat, and let's say I yield 10 to 13 pounds of meat, I have to then find buyers for that 12 to 13 pounds of meat, because I don't have a regular establishment. I sell my food based off of catering orders for the most part. And if I don't have a catering order, now I have to turn to Instagram for the most part, is how I was selling food, and try to sell that food online. And Instagram does not like when you try to sell food or sell anything without giving them advertising money. They don't show your post. So Sean said, I noticed that I got a video with 800 views that has more watch time than the one with 2,000. Yep. The whole thing is the watch time is based off of the length of the video. So you kind of hack the system by making the video longer. And then once you get to the point where you can advertise on your channel, your videos, in a nutshell, need to be no less than 8 minutes, because that's how you can actually put ads on the video. Let's see. Future webcams says I'll be doing more food reviews on my channel soon, like Damn Drops. Damn? What is that? Give me the fire, yeah. If it's too hot, well, Sean says he likes the spicy. Laura says if it's too hot, Dash, you can puff the magic dragon. Yeah, sure. No problem, JK. Alright, there's Neil's channel. Look at that. Neil's got 55 now. I know I went in and, I see 55. Let's see. Let me refresh. 56. Laura says she subbed to Neil last time. Living Legend said if the grocery store is selling chuck, they probably have cloud because they get it in packers and cut it in the back. Not in my area. The chuck is packaged already, prepackaged, and it comes in a chuck package. So Living Legend, where do you live? And this would be the determining factor on. This is one of those things, man. Like, people are like, oh, you need to cook tri-tip. You don't cook tri-tip a lot. I can't get tri-tip. Like, I don't live on the West Coast. You guys on the West Coast have access to tri-tip. That's not something I have access to. So yeah, it's when you can find something readily available in your area, you don't think about the fact that it's harder for other people to get something similar. There you go. That's exactly it. So he says, live in London, he lives in LA. I already knew you were in California talking about shoulder clod, because again, that's one of those another West Coast cut. I don't know why it's not as popular on the East Coast. You hear people talking about hey Al, I'm doing on the live stream on my phone, remember? So I'll check out the clip a little later. Let's see. So I can tell you on the West Coast because you're talking about shoulder clod. Same thing as like tri-tip. Y'all talk about tri-tip and y'all can get tri-tip for like dirt cheap, because that basically all the tri-tip goes to the East Coast, or excuse me, West Coast. But on the East Coast, I have to, like, tri-tip costs me an arm and a leg, and then I gotta buy 1 million pounds of it in order to get some, and like I just can't afford to be experimenting with tri-tip because I don't cook it to sell. And a lot of the things that I buy in bulk, if you will, buy bigger, are things that I'm selling. So if it's not something I sell, it's not something I buy. What's your favorite beer? Because mine is tri-tip. Mine is tri-tip. Oh no. What's your favorite beef cut? I would imagine that's what it's trying to say, because his is tri-tip. For me, it's gonna be picanha, and then ribeye, like a bone-in ribeye for sure. Jimmy said, I remember the night you said, you said, well, now you have 16 now. Yeah, so I was Jimmy's 16th subscriber. No problem. Uh, Alice says, nah, you're good, man. I mean, as long as it didn't kill the stream. If it killed the stream, then, it'd have been on you. And I think the 20 some odd people here would have had problem with you. But if you haven't already, please do hit that thumbs up button for me. I'd greatly appreciate it. JK says, you were just saying about the tri-tip. I moved to North Carolina and couldn't get it. I had to go back to SoCal, yeah. No, Living Legends is my bad. Just trying to help my dog. Where you at? Oh, I'm in Baltimore, so I'm on the East Coast. And I'm sorry I didn't say that. I got sidetracked. Yeah, JK, man, I've been doing a live streams for a long time, and I am good at interpreting autocorrect. It just takes me a second sometime. Yep, Mark, that's exactly it. I was gonna make a mention of the rib tips, and I started saying it just like, and I was saying just like, and then I started reading another comment. Just like in the Midwest, rib tips are king. Rib tips are like, everybody loves rib tips in the Midwest, and the reason why they love rib tips in the Midwest is because they take full spares, cut them down to St. Louis cut ribs, and then they cut off the rib tips and all the extra stuff. And as opposed to selling an entire whole spare, they basically make two things to sell from that one spare. And they're not getting double the money, but they're getting extra money on top by selling the best part, like the heart of the spares, in the St. Louis cut and the rib tip separately. So, it's like double dipping almost. Victor says, oops, I'm late. Howdy, y'all. You should try Pacific salmon. Oh, that's right. Hard to get on the East Coast. Victor walked in the door and he's already having to read between the lines. What? He just got here and he's reading between the lines. Living Legends says, I keep my freezer full of tri-tip. He said, California love. West side. West side? Al's funny. He says, Victor, what's up, bruh? Grumpus says, hey, Dash and everybody. Sorry I'm late. Just got home from work. Well, what the heck, man? Don't you know? Don't they know that Wednesdays are sacred? They have to allow you to leave. Let me just shout out Grumpus. There's Grumpus right there. Grumpus on fire. If you don't know, you need to check out Grumpus' channel. Grumpus is a cool cat, man. He always has on Hawaiian shirts and flannels. Yeah. JK says, I was in Randleman. I guess Randleman, North Carolina. I'm like, oh, there's a place in Maryland called Randallstown. I thought you were, I'm like, wait, what? You were up the street? D-Dub says, hey, yo, what up, Dash? How you doing, D-Dub? What's going on? Grumpus says, rib tips are a big hit in my area. Yep. Tupac lived in Baltimore. Respect from Cali. He is from Baltimore. Yep. I mean, I'm not from Baltimore. I just live in Baltimore. I'm from Philadelphia. So, say what you will. All right. From Philly. All right. Oh, I am caught up on the comments. That happens every now and again where I get caught up. So, it's still early, and that was oh, you know what? I'm going to pour the energy drink. Hell no, Al. Hell no. Man. GTFOH. Alright? GTFOH. Alright? Oh, that was rather anticlimactic. So no, living legend, Kobe is not from Philly. He's from outside of Philadelphia. And those who are from Philadelphia don't claim, well, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't claim Kobe. I'm not a big Kobe fan because he claimed that he was from Philadelphia, and he's not. He's not. A kid grew up in the suburbs in Lower Merion. That's not Philly. What's my take on burnt ends? I've been to Kansas City where burnt ends are king, and I love burnt ends. I don't cook and make burnt ends because they're not profitable for me because I slice my brisket and I sell brisket in, I sell like half point and half flat. So if you order a pound of brisket from me or a pound and a half brisket, I'm going to give you half point and half flat. If I were to try to make burnt ends specifically, what ends up happening is I end up having a lot of extra, of the flat, just not left over, but, to sell. Kevin James says, how much of ribeye steaks where you are at? I made some Philly cheesesteaks the other day and had to spend $50 on just over 2 pounds of ribeyes. I don't know. It depends because I'm not going to be making cheesesteaks from fresh ribeye. You can get shaved ribeye, and the shaved ribeye is, I won't say a lesser quality, but you don't have to do all of the work. And I will get it from like the Asian market or Asian Korean market. So the Lotte or H Mart, they sell like a shaved ribeye. And then also in the local supermarkets, they sell like a shaved ribeye that's really good for cheesesteaks as well. And it's not $50. Like I said, it's not going to be top tier steak, like a choice steak that you're going to be putting on a cheesesteak. That's just not something I would do. So yeah, Al says that's just like Jersey folks saying it from New York. Yep, that's exactly it. Well, North Jersey folks talking about saying they're from New York, because Trenton is in his own area. That's Central New Jersey. North Jersey folks, they be like, oh, some people claim New York, and then other people like, oh, I live in New Jersey, close to New York, and then South Jersey folks, same thing. You like, oh, I'm from South Jersey, or I live down the shore, or something like that. And they'll either specify South Jersey or like a specific county or maybe even a city if it's big enough. But like people who live in Cherry Hill or people who live in Camden, they might claim Philly. They'd be like, oh, I grew up just outside of Philly. He didn't say I grew up outside of Philly. He said I'm from Philadelphia. No, you're not. No, you're not. From someone who lived in Philly, born and raised in Philly. No, you're not. Nope. I was never a Kobe fan for that reason. I can't find them in Southern California. Yeah, ribeyes here, about $17 Canadian pound. Yep. Dash, what's your markup on beef again? 3 times. But so I talked about it actually earlier. Someone asked specifically about what I charge for brisket. I said right now brisket is about $5 per pound, and common wisdom message is that you triple the cost on brisket, right? So if I'm tripling the cost on brisket, that means I need to charge $15 per pound. But that's $5 per pound. But when you cook a brisket, you're going to lose 50% basically of the weight of the brisket. So that means the cost isn't actually $5 per pound, it's actually $10 per pound. So what I should be charging per pound is $30 per pound of cooked brisket. I don't feel right charging $30 per pound for cooked brisket. And I've been reducing and having people pay a little bit less, between $22 and $25 per pound for brisket. But that's my loss leader, and nope. I'd rather not cook anything than take that loss. Sean says, I haven't fired up the smoker in quite some time. I mentioned to get another brisket so I can mess it up. Sean, man, I'm telling you, we gonna have to talk, Sean, because I'm telling you, I'm gonna tell you the foolproof plan, foolproof methodology. Kevin says, now that sounds like a good idea. Yeah, howdy, Steven and Jacqueline. Great cheese sandwich today. I was busy today. I didn't get to actually watch a whole bunch of YouTube. Neil says, okay, my friends, after the bounce, we'll talk to you next week. Have yourselves a great weekend. Thank you, you too. Oh man, Al, see, Al, there we go. You know what's funny, Al, because I get just as passionate about people who want to claim Philadelphia. And I'm like, oh, they're like, oh yeah, I'm from Philly. I'm like, really? Me too. I grew up in Mount Airy. Where'd you grow up? Oh, Willingboro. Wait, in South Jersey? That ain't Philly. What are you talking about? Like Kobe. Oh yeah, Kobe claiming Philly, claiming Philly, claiming Philly, claiming Philly, and it's like, well, what section of the city you grew up in? Lower Marion. What? That's Delaware County. That ain't even Philly. No. Oh, you from Philly? Yeah, where in Philly? Oh, I live in Langhorne. That's not Philly. That's Bucks County, dog. No. Oh, you from Philly? Where in Philly you from? Oh, I lived out in Montgomeryville. Montgomeryville? What? That's Moco. Dog, what are you talking about? Like, no, that ain't Philly. No. I said Newark is not effing New York City. And Neil says, and thanks again for the subscribing to the channel. So now, Neil, what you gotta do is you gotta keep my subscription and keep everyone else's subscription. See, here we go. All right, so here we go. Living Legend says, that's of course you don't like Kobe. Y'all booed Santa Claus. All right, do you know that was from the 40s? The 40s. Let it go. Let it go. They booed Santa Claus in like 1941 or 1942. And for whatever reason, I don't know. The people who are from Philly, no one is around that's old enough to remember why whoever got booed. But everyone always wants to remember the one negative thing, the two negative things. Oh, y'all have a jail in y'all. No, there's not. The stadium that the jail was in closed 15 years ago. And yet and still, the only thing you hear when you talk about Philly is Santa Claus getting booed and there's a jail in the damn football stadium. Neither one, no, they did boo Santa Claus from what I understand, but I don't even know why. Let it go. And I don't like Kobe because he claimed to be from somewhere where he's not. That's why. My own personal feeling is my own personal feeling. Doug, if you say you from, I mean, how many people claim they from LA and they live in Burbank? That doesn't upset you? Like, do you actually live in Los Angeles? I'll wait. This is a sore subject for me. Maceo, what's going on, man? Crumpet says I'm fixing to give away a full brisket and a pork butt. Shoot, you go right ahead. Al said I would pay $30 a pound for Dash's brisket. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate you, Al. And you know what? There are people that would, and there were people that I would take their money because I know that they are capable of doing it. But there are other people who I don't feel comfortable taking their money at $30 per pound. Is it to say that my brisket isn't worth $30 per pound? No, I could charge $45 a pound for my brisket and leave you wanting more, okay? But I have to know what my market will bear. That's the the prevailing, one of the prevailing topics I would always say. Know what your market will bear. I can charge $30 per pound, but is someone going to be willing to pay $30 per pound? Yeah, Al said I've tasted one, actually 3, but that was your seasoning on the brisket. I mean, the preparation, I helped with the preparation, but your seasoning, I'm telling you, man, my seasoning on the brisket, a little bit different. Grumpus says I'm trying to reel a deal in the whole soccer league. Shoot. Check Philly Boy J channel for Philly. Also, I think you would dig his channel. I'm not a paid robot either. Nah, I get it, dude. I mean, I get it. Philly Boy J. So part of the problem is, and I've said this before, I don't actually watch a whole lot of people who cook on YouTube. But let me see. Philly Boy J cooking show. Alright. What are you gonna see? Wait. Okay. 441,000 subscribers. Never heard of them. Breakers, desserts, appetizers, salads, and more. Okay. I will leave this open and check it out a little later. Thanks. Take care, Neil. If you were from Jersey, you wouldn't. If I was from Jersey, well, see, I mean, the good thing is I'm not from Jersey and I don't have to claim it. Does that make sense, Al? But like, Lou, I don't know if Lou's from Jersey, but I know Lou lives in Jersey. I don't want to put words in his mouth. All right, so Al says it was 1968. All right, well, thanks, Al. Tri-tip is good, but I believe it's overrated. If it was good, as some say, it would be everywhere. There you go. Mark says, saying you don't like Kobe is different than saying he can't ball. But see, here's the next part of that, right? The next level to I'm not a basketball fan. So, I don't, like, I could care less. And it's so funny because I'm not a basketball fan, and yet my boys play basketball, so I ended up having to get into basketball because of them. But I got into their basketball team, not the NBA. Just, come on. Let's see, Victor is talking to Victor. The reason most people don't buy tri-tip is because they don't know what to do with it. Carving tri-tip is not obvious. For some, it comes out tough because they carve it wrong. Yep, just like almost anything. Look, man, living legend. Look, you see the Philly fan, the Philadelphian in me is boom, front and look, one of my favorite sayings nowadays is F around and find out. Oh, it don't take much. It's like, it don't take much. He said, take it easy. He's like, it's all love. I'm just teasing. And Burbank is considered Los Angeles. No, Burbank is a whole nother city. Burbank is in LA County. But Burbank is, I've actually been to Burbank, which is why I've been to Burbank. I was in the Palisades. Those are all not teeny, but all cities or areas around. I don't know. Listen, I'm not gonna say that I'm better educated than you. You live out on the West Coast, okay? I'll give you that. You might know more about that particular subject than I do, but Kobe wasn't from Philly. Randall says, hold on, let's see. He said, take it easy, it's all love, just teasing, and Burbank is considered Los Angeles. It just ain't. It ain't considered Compton. Okay. Randall says, how's brisket sales for you this year? Down. I won't say I refuse to sell it, but like, people ask for brisket and I tell them how much brisket costs and they be like, oh, and I'm like, yep, I'd be like, I can cook some pork for you. But people who don't eat pork be like, can I get chicken? Chicken wings have doubled in cost too. Like the last time I did chicken wings, I charged, mind you, I was charging $1. I used to charge $1.50 per wing, right? I'm charging $2.50 per wing now. And contemplating charging $2.75 for $3 per wing because the cost of wings has gone up so high. D-Dub says, I'm from SoCal by way of East Central Mississippi. Country hood. Well, okay. Nah. Grumpus says, you gotta know your customers. I'm targeting hungry drunk parents sitting in the sun all weekend. Yeah, well, Grumpus, you have and I'll tell you, there was a football league that the school that the field that they use is right up the street. And I'm like, maybe I should approach them and just be like, yo, I'm gonna sell chicken sandwiches and pulled pork sandwiches. And I mean, I could do that. And I wouldn't even have to worry about selling brisket because the cost of brisket is too damn high. But I'm like, do I really want to be out there during the cold, like up all night cooking Friday and Saturday morning, and to be out on the field doling out food all day on Saturday? I'm saying, no. Grumpus, you got away with words, sir. Grumpus says basketball equals give each team 100 points and let them play for 5 minutes. Yeah. Hey, thank you, Steven. Thank you. Living Legend said, love the channel. Keep up the great content. My G, gotta go holla. Burbank is greater Los Angeles. All right, well, if you... So I think you just proved my point. Los Angeles is a city. Burbank is a city outside of Los Angeles. That's a suburb of Los Angeles. One is LA. One is outside of LA. I'm just saying. That's how Lower Merion is outside of Philly. It's not Philadelphia. KB says, what's in my cup tonight? So we are using this bottle was full, you know. This bottle was full. This is the Dash vodka bottle. I was so eloquently, I was gifted this bottle when I went to Texas and saw Marcus from Crimson Creek Barbecue and his beautiful wife, Jamie, and they hooked it heavy and they gave me a vodka that was Dash vodka, right? And it's this is produced in Texas. Let's see, is it Austin or let's see, where was it? Brookshire, Texas. I don't know where that is, but I don't think it's too far away from Austin. But when the bottle was empty, I had to, I couldn't throw the bottle away, so I repurposed it, and I put some of the shine in the bottle. So yeah. Uncle Bull said Burbank is a suburb of LA. Uncle Bull says he's from Hawthorne, California, but it's the suburbs. Mark says $2 per wing. Whole wing. Yes, sir. Whole wings. Living Legend says potato. No, man, I'm telling you, you proved my point. Look, Mark says here, Jamaican restaurants are mixing their oxtail with neck bones because oxtails is $7 a pound and neck bone is $2. So, it's funny you say that, Mark. I mixed oxtail with not neck bone, but with shank meat, with beef shank. And, you can tell the difference between which one is shank and which one is oxtail, but the shank is far less fatty, and it's just far less fatty. That's a cool bottle. Yeah, definitely. Grumble says, I'm trying to sell the protein only. They will sell the products as they see fit. I don't want to sell sandwiches all weekend. Yeah, man, shoot. Kent says, hey, Dash, I just had to buy my daughter a new car. SMH. Like a brand new car or just a new to her car? Freaking Al, man. He's a habitual button pusher. He said it's pronounced potato. This guy, this guy, okay? This guy. This guy, alright. Chevy Malibu, alright. Huh, nice. Oh, I said it's not. Oh, it's not pronounced potato. It's potato. It doesn't matter. Pecan, caramel, library. I say library, damn it. And my manager, whenever I say something about the library, he said, "What flavor is a library?" I'm like, "The flavor where you get books from, damn it." Stop asking me that dumbass question. Mark says, yeah, selling sandwiches at an event could increase labor costs. Yes, indeed. Well, I won't say it increase your labor costs, but if you don't have someone, I don't know how to explain what I'm thinking of. It because there's more labor. Like when I'm doing a catered event, right? I drop the food off and I'm done. So the money I made is the timer stops. But if I'm now selling the food, the timer, I won't say starts back up, but I'm diluting my profit. Does that make sense? But you can offset the dilution of you having to put more hours into it by charging more. Yeah, library. What up, Tony? Tony, I'm drinking on, Yeah, it's. I took it from the plastic and put it in the glass. So this is actually the last of what I have. So if you up in the area soon, you let me know. Or if I'm back down that way, I'll let you know. I'd rather cook all night than sell all day. Oh, shoot, sure enough, Grumpus. Dude, man, I've been on both ends because I'd rather cook all night one day, get a night's sleep, and then cook all day like the next day. Like not freeze it, but chill it and then reheat it. Tony, how you doing, man? What's good? No buns, sporks, sundries. What? Sundaries? What are you talking about, Grumpus? Two briskets on for the scar bar. Nice. Tony, what are you charging per pound for brisket right now? Are you doing like sandwiches or like are you doing like a brisket loaded potato? I haven't seen your menu. Now that I feel like I've been traveling more, I might have to come down there and hang out with you. Oh, you far, dog. You far. Justin said I've had my LSU for 2 weeks now, but I haven't cooked anything yet because meat is too high. Sure enough, Justin. Man, you ain't never lied. I'm trying to justify buying the double door cabinet because that's what I want. Like I want the double door cabinet. Sandwich, $12 to $15 with the side. So how much? Or say so $12, $15 with the side. So how heavy are your sandwiches? Are you doing like a 6-ounce sandwich, a 4-ounce sandwich? Because I think like a 6-ounce sandwich probably would be adequate. Grumpa said I don't have to supply the fixings for sandwiches, just meat, collect and go home. Yep, that's it. Victor says sandwiches make for increased serving time, difficult if by yourself. However, you increase profitability on food ingredients is positive if you have the time. Correct. So Victor, that's what I was saying. If I am trying to be out on a football field or a soccer field, as Grumpus was saying, on a Saturday, I don't want to cook all night Friday night into Saturday morning to then be on the field all day on Saturday. What I would do is cook on Thursday into Friday, get a decent night's rest on Friday night, and then go and reheat the food and serve on Saturday. I wouldn't mind that. Like, I would be far less grumpy. Tony says, yep, 5 to 6 ounces. So do the math on that, right? So Tony says he's charging, like, let's say 6 ounces, right? So, calculator. So, we got 16 divided by 6 is 2.660. So again, we got 16 divided by 6, right? So we're going to take 16 ounces, which is the pound, divided by 6 to see, am I doing that right? Or is it 6 divided by 16.375? We want 16 divided by 6, which is 2.6 times 15. So he's making basically $40 a pound on his brisket in sales. Yeah, Victor says a 4-ounce meat serving on a sandwich is a quarter pound. Yep. Providing the food and serving the food a different serving is more about how much you're charging for your time to serve all day above the food cost for the event. So, Mark, I agree there. But if I am selling the food, if I am vending, then I don't get to charge to sell the food. If I am there in a service capacity, I do get to charge. Grumpus is a good idea, KB. Maybe see the crowd samples. Yep. Are you getting any gratuities when you serve rather than drop off? Most likely not. So, Justin, I'm not a real big, hey, give me tips, one of those type things. there are some people who have the ability to give a whole bunch of tips, and there are people who can't, who just not a thing. But I think, Mark, I kind of, hit on. I'm hoping I hit on the difference. Providing the food and serving the food are different. They are. So when I did that like 500 person event, and they wanted me to come on site and serve the food and hand out the food, that was an additional line item, an additional thing I was able to bill for. But if I am making the food and going out to a field to sell the food to parents who are the kids are playing soccer, or to parents who their kids are playing football, the time that I have to pay myself for is coming out of my own food sales budget. So I would have to increase or mark up the price on the food that I'm selling in order to pay myself for my time for being on the field, because I'm not getting paid from the venue. And now here's one thing, Justin, too. When I drop food off, I charge a standard 10% fee on top of their bill. That 10% fee is going to cover like incidentals. It's going to cover, I'm not saying incidentals, it's going to cover like the cost of the racks, the warmers, and that delivery. That's like a delivery / setup free fee. And it's going to be $50 or at least 10%. So if somebody has a $700 bill, all right, it's going to be $70, and that includes delivery and setup. And the setup includes all of the warmers, and things like that. So Mark says, yeah, I see what you mean. The labor is included in the service. And actually, Mark, it's not necessarily. So again, you have to differentiate. If I am catering an event and they're paying me to serve the food, I'm getting extra money. So it's like free money. So the last time I did a big event, I was able to bill for 4 bodies at my billing rate per hour. My billing rate per hour is much higher than what I was paying the folks that were helping me. So I was able to pay for all of the labor that I had in just the 4 hours 16 hours I billed for, at the rate that I billed for, which was 4 or 5 times higher than the labor rate I paid out. So, I broke even-ish, okay? Because like I said, I billed for 4 hours for 4 people at my labor rate. So I billed for 16 hours. But my one buddy who came and helped me, I paid him for 16 hours because he came and helped me 2 days in a row for 8 hours. And like, I think I maybe even paid him for more than 8 hours each day he helped me. And then I had 3 other folks that came and helped me, and I paid them for 2 or 3 hours. So, I mean, yeah. Grumpus is my interest in selling product to someone else so they can do the actual catering. Oh, Grumpus is my interest in selling product to someone else so they can do the actual catering. Yep, and I don't want you to say they can do the catering. You want them to do the service, because you're doing the catering. You're doing the catering. You're doing the catering aspect, because you don't want them to take credit for your food. You just can give them credit for their service. All right. So Mark says, sorry, the food being sold. I see what you said. The labor is included. Yes, the labor is included in the food being sold. Correct. So if I am selling food, if I'm vending and selling food on site, I'm going to charge a little bit more to pay myself. Okay. So Justin says, do you charge more to cook on site? Yes, I have a labor rate per hour to cook on site. So I charge for the food, and then I charge for the actual cooking on site. So it's not that I'm necessarily charging more. I am billing for cooking on site. And then here's the thing, Justin. When I cook on site, I bill an extra hour for setup and breakdown. I'm not going to go on site and start cooking, unload my truck, unload the van, unload my trailer, and start cooking and cook for you. Like, the timer doesn't start when the food goes on the grill. The timer starts when I start unloading my grills, and I start the fire, because that's my time, right? So I tell people, listen, I have a 2.5 hour minimum, and that includes a half an hour setup and a half an hour to break down. And most people are like, okay, that makes sense. So you have me to cook for an hour and a half. I can cook of food in an hour and a half on my 5-foot grill, dog. Like, most of the time, I'm twiddling my fingers. I'll get like half of the food cooked or a quarter of the food cooked, and I'm twiddling my fingers, and then it'll be 45 minutes until I'm done, and I'm like, all right, well, or half an hour, and I'm like, hey, I still have half the food left over. Do you want me to knock it out? You want me to cook it real quick? And some people are like, oh yeah, sure. Other people are like, nah, just leave it in the cooler, or nah, don't worry about it. I'll cook it later, or whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll just let the fire die down. I'll start breaking down very slowly. But it depends. Like, I had one event where the lady it was a graduation party. Now, this is, obviously pre-COVID. So this was probably like in the summer of 2019 or in the summer of 2018 even. Took a grill on site, and this girl was having a graduation party for her son. He was graduating from high school, and the whole thing was, they were in a park, and it was like the kids were coming in, like funneling in, because there was multiple parties going on all at the same time. So they would come in, have a hot dog, have a burger, say hey, and then keep going. So it was like a constant stream of folks coming just in and out. So I'm cooking, and she's like, well, just kind of like, because we prepared for like 50 to 80 people or so, I can't remember. And I'm like, all right, well, I have a box or two of hot dogs, a box or two, some hamburgers. And she's like, well, can you just cook it all? I'm like, sure. I cooked it all, knocked it out, and was done. And I'm like, all right, well, hey, I'm done. I cooked everything. And I'm like, half of the food is gone, because, folks were coming at a pretty steady clip. She's like, yeah, she's like, I'm really impressed that you kept up with everybody. I'm like, well, that's the whole point of you coming and setting up early and getting started early, so that I can get stuff on the grill and it be done, like, ready at your start time. Because some people, you say, oh, I'm starting at 2 o'clock. Some people gonna be there at 2:05 or at 1:55. So you have to have food ready for those early birds, or those people who were there to help you set up. They might want to eat early. So that means I need to get there early. And if I'm getting there early, you're going to pay me to be there early so I can set up and get cooking and get ready and have food ready for you early as possible, right? And I did just that for her. I even helped her finish setting up the stuff around, because I'm like, oh, well, I got food on the grill. I don't have to babysit it. I know what it's going to do. I can kind of look from here and, oh, hey, look, I see it smoking. Let me go flip these burgers real quick. I'll be right back. Helped her out with her setup. And she was very grateful, like, to the point where she was like, I billed her for 2.5 hours. I was in and out and done in an hour and a half. I mean, sometimes it just pays to be on your shit and know what you're doing. Laura says, but you still need to pay. You need to pay you some, Dash. Yeah, definitely, Laura. So Al, and again, I'm behind in the comments, like really behind. I was talking a whole bunch of stories. I got to bounce. All right, filming the first cook on the new smoker. I sent you a pic up morning. I sent you a pic in the morning, and catch you next week. Keep up the good work. Thank you, sir. Victor says, Victor, sandwiches, beer brats, etc. Brisket by the pound, depends on what you're doing that day. Next summer at the farmer's market, I'll sell more sandwich boxes, etc. than per pound brisket. And you know what, Victor, you're absolutely right. If I was selling to the general public, I wouldn't be selling brisket per pound. I'm going to be selling sandwiches. And the whole thing is, you sell a sandwich, and that's something that someone can easily understand and they can grasp, versus me saying, oh, well, brisket is half a pound per person. Like, if I'm in a restaurant or an establishment and I can, like, put it on a plate or a platter, then, that half pound stuff works out. So Jimmy says I didn't add for delivery and extras for turkey at Thanksgiving, but I was getting $85 for the turkey, so I made out. Yes, so Jimmy was charging $85 per turkey, where I charged this year. I charged $65, $70 for a turkey, and I charged between $5 and actually it was between $5 and $10 for delivery, because what ends up happening on a holiday, I capped the delivery charge at $10 because I'm delivering so much that I'm like, I'm not going to beat people up. And somebody who lives, unfortunately, somebody who lives in PG County, which is, it can be an hour away, I'm not charging them what I would normally be charging them, which would be $20, because I'm like stair stepping all the way down there already. So yeah. This is wow. James says, never knew how much went into catering. You gave me so much to think about. Well, thank you, James. Hey, James, if you have not already, please hit that thumbs up button. I'd greatly appreciate it. Mark says, Dash, do you do the whole Thanksgiving dinner with the fixings or just turkey? So I do proteins, man. That's it. I won't say that's it, because if I'm doing a catered event, if I'm doing an on-site event, I will offer sides. But for Thanksgiving, I offered ribs, wings, lamb, salmon, turkeys, and brisket. And I delivered all of those things, man. This year it was I don't say off year, but I mean, I cooked 16 turkeys this year. 16 turkeys. I don't even remember, like 5 briskets, two salmon fillets, a leg of lamb, some ribs. I mean, I cooked. Mark says, I've thought of making smoked meats like ham and chicken, turkey breast, and packaging it to sell parents as a healthier option. Dude, so the guy Tony, who was just here, who I was talking to, he does or did smoked meats for meal preps. So there's money in it. You just have to find the people who are willing to purchase from you, to buy it from you. Justin said, who's my sponsor tonight? I don't have a sponsor tonight. Well, I've been drinking out of this Dash Vodka bottle, but it ain't Dash Vodka. So between Dash Vodka and Rockstar Energy, so yeah, I wish. Let's see. Justin said, what's everyone cooking for the Super Bowl? He says, go Rams. Bernie, how you doing? He said, Bernie's Blue Lime Barbecue. He says, what's up, y'all? Sorry I'm late. I'll have to catch the replay. Wow, I appreciate that, sir. Uncle Bull says, yes, go Rams. All right. Uncle Bull says he's originally from California. So, Justin, last week, it wasn't necessarily so much that it was sponsored. The guy from, let's see, Saucy Bottom Barbecue, he hit me up and he asked me to share his sauce and stuff, and I'm not gonna lie, I have not been motivated to film any videos, and it's not that I don't, so do me a favor, go out there and check out his website, Saucy Bottom Barbecue. Again, that's saucybottombarbecue.com. Check out his sauces and rubs, and maybe make a purchase. Tell him I sent you. He offered a discount code for you guys, but I don't feel right taking money out of his pocket, you know what I mean? Laura says, who are they playing against, Uncle Bull? I have not even checked my site. So it's the Cincinnati Bengals, the Bungles, and the Rams. Like, the Bungles. The Bungles gonna mess around and win the Super Bowl. Watch. Joe, my YouTube says, I'm not sure, but it seems like my comments keep getting deleted. So, Joe, are you commenting like links to anything? Because YouTube will automatically like filter those out. So unless you are a moderator, you cannot comment with a link, a URL to like another channel or to a website or anything like that. So I'm sorry if you are saying that your comments are getting deleted, but it could also be me, Joe. I mean, I'm sorry. Let's see. Who did? Okay, yeah, I answered that. Doing jerk chicken wings for the Super Bowl. All right, Mark. Nothing wrong. I like. So I have a particular jerk seasoning that I like. My wife is not a big fan of it. Like she likes we have a greasy. It's kind of like not backwoods. There's another brand. But it's almost like a paste jerk seasoning. Uncle Bull says, Laura, Cincinnati. Excuse me. Laura says snorting on a saucy bottom needs to depend. Yep. Saucy bottom. Victor says for the Super Bowl, folks should do lamb. Think about it. The lambs and the Bengals. Yeah. Got the lamb and the tiger. Justin says we need to get you an LSG sponsorship, dude. Please and thank you. I need that. Like seriously, that would help me out so much. And you know the whole thing is this, right, Justin? I'm not motivated to cook because my cook is in such disrepair. My cooker rather is in such disrepair. The one that I like depend on Bessie is in disrepair. Can I get Bessie to cook? Yes, but like there's so much that goes into it. Beat up prices just gonna be me, wifey, and our oldest daughter, so probably a slab or two of ribs. Nice. Hey, thanks, Justin. Excuse me, thanks, Steven. I appreciate you. He did already. He did not. He did it already. Not saying a while. I know it's like twice in a row. But oh man, Uncle Bulls is Topanga, Georgia. Topanga, Georgia. I guess are you from Topanga, Georgia? Maybe lived out in California? Because you know we gotta think about Topanga around here. Like Topanga, Boy Meets World. Topanga, what? Mark says, what % would you say your catering dropped since the beginning of COVID? Probably like 90%. Like seriously, hard 90%. Easily. I mean, I make no qualms about it. Folks are not having. When I was am I still cooking? Yes. Or was I still cooking? Yes. Am I cooking as much? No, dude. I can look back at my sales from last year versus the year before. Actually, I would need to look at my sales from 2020 and 2019. And goodness gracious, this is ridiculous. I mean, all right, maybe 75%, because there were other jobs I did, but I was nowhere near as busy in 2021 or 2020. Period. I mean, you know, I had those diehard folks that, but see, you know, one of the things too, which is crazy, Mark, I can't even say dollar for dollar. Like I can't look at my numbers, because the cost of meat went up. So my sales went up because the meat was more, not because I was selling more. So there's another aspect that I you know, just now thinking about it was a little off, a little different. The Georgia guy. Oh, it's supposed to be California, I guess. Jimmy says, Dash, you go on and bite the bullet and buy that new smoker, and that will get you cooking again. You know, you're absolutely right. Brandon Smoke says, hey, Dash, it's Joe. What's going on? Smoking Joe? Nah. I do still live in Maryland. It's Flynn. I do. No, he said, no, this Joe. It's so funny. There are, you know, there's only one Dash. All right. So, you know, if I'm like, hey, yo, this is Dash, you know who I am. But it's like, yo, we got multiple Joes, we got multiple Johns, we have a few different Justins. Don't dare talk about Erics. Don't dare talk about Erics. Okay? So when you say Joe, you got to be more specific. You know, Pacific. You know how people be like, oh, you got to be Pacific. No, you have to be specific. But you know, we'll just let that slide. Let's see. Topanga for the TV show because you yawn. Oh, okay. Look, you saw me like, oh, Topanga? You know, Grandma says my outdoor cooks have dropped by half just from meat costs alone. And he said, and I just cook for home. Yeah. Captain 11 says, what's up from the Great White North? Gotta say hi to them up in Canada. All right. He said currently minus 45 degrees right now, and I haven't been able to fire up the smoker in over a month. Dash, thanks for the tips and tricks and info. No problem, man. Jimmy says, never mind, Jim. James. Oh yeah, never mind, Jim. James. Chris. Sure enough, but Jim and James are the same people. Anyway, Uncle Flynn says, born and raised in Southern Maryland. Anyone up north? Let's see. Anyone up north still call people Smibs? No, I don't know nothing about that. Let's see. Mark says, you ever try selling to fire halls? Like make them some samples to try, and then maybe provide them meals like your catering. Might be a little money in that. So when you say a fire hall, do you mean like a fire station or like a, see, because what you call a fire hall might be something different than what I call a fire hall, because I know, you know, lost in translation across the border. I have sold food to the fire department, the local fire department that services my area, or, you know, not patrols, but responds in my area. But I sold them food years ago when they happened to respond to a call to my house. Grimace's wife says, say chicken again. Say chicken again. Okay. Joseph is just trying to get it across. This is my YouTube. No problem. I'm bringing the smoke. I dig that. Laura says, yeah, another Canuck, eh? Mm-hmm. Victor says, big consideration at Lone Star Grills for that two-door is going to take at least 6 months before delivery. So if you're on the curb, pull the trigger. Damn, I love that big smoker. Yeah. The problem, Victor, is I don't want to pay for something that I don't have, and I don't want to pay interest on something. Oh wow. Flynn did not put that together at all. No, I'm not going to read that out loud, but yeah. First Love says, yo Dash, what's going on, man? First Love, been a minute, dude. I just, you know, really love seeing folks that have been around for a while. So Flynn says, is your biz not going right? No, the business is fine. Like my business isn't the problem. It's the lack of business. If that makes sense. My business, like somebody paid me to cook, I'm cooking, but nobody's paying me to cook right now. And that's a little bit of me not asking for business, but I don't want to ask for business and be disappointed when I tell someone what it's going to cost them to have me cook for them. So I won't say I'd rather just do family stuff, but I'm enjoying my family time. I'm enjoying my family and being able to do different things. I sell chili to fire hall stations here. I leave the chili in electric soup pots, and they eat it when they can. Pay by the pot. All right, that's interesting. So D-Ski Grill says, hey Dash, it's D-Ski. Been following you for a minute now. I have the 24 by 84 Lone Star Grills trailer pit coming in about 4 weeks. Love the chat, dude. I feel your pain with the prices of meat. Everybody does. Everybody. I mean, it's horrible. Flynn says, "Oh, okay. I just got in here first time. No worries, man. Like I said, I mean, I come down to Southern Maryland every now and again. Deliveries every now and again. I actually did a delivery. It was right after Christmas. Excuse me, right before Christmas. I catered an engagement party down there. I was way down there. Like, where the hell was I? I can't remember the name of the city or town I was in. It'll come to me later, and it'll be like right before I go to sleep. I'll be like, it was that particular city. Just has got my first vid. I love your thoughts. All right, so let's see. Bring the smoke. It's a channel. Learning how to use an offset smoker. First cook chicken drums. All right, done and done. I will check it out. So let's help out Joe. All right. So let me ask you something, because here's another thing that I've been toying with. Would you be willing to allow me to critique a video of yours on video? If you would be willing to allow me to critique a video of yours on video, like when I say critique, I'm not going to say, oh, you should have used 2 tablespoons of pepper versus 1. I would like to critique your technique. I would like to tell you if there's something that I see you doing that you could improve upon. I would like to say to you, hey, be careful with using raw meat and touching the handles of your smoker. Is that something you will be, and I'm not trying to pick on you, Joe, or anything like that, but like, is that something you would want to see me do? Rich says, oh, I do understand, trust me. Damned if we do, damned if we don't, right? If you do get it, you'll be inspired to do more business, but probably won't like that pressure. I mean, I don't mind the pressure. Like, I'm going to do what I got to do. My moving truck never showed up, so I'm paying another $1,200 to rent. For rent. Had to I'll change the plane ticket. Yeah. Yep, it's getting hard to see a real profit. I feel like I'm overcharging when all I'm trying to do is make a profit. Meat, seasoning, labor, it's a real thing that many don't understand. Yes, indeed. Jill says 100%. Yep. Oh, I was moving back home after 25 jobs, 2 online phone interviews, nothing. So my family said, time to come home from Alberta to Ontario. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Legend says, I'm back, Dash. I had to shout out, I had to shoot the Burbank right quick. Well, you know. I feel like we got an inside joke. Cheers, my dude. Did you go get some tri-tip while you were out in Burbank? Goodness. I mean, so I have been to California one time. I was out there for work, and I was in Fresno, and so we flew out like on a Thursday, right? Flew out of Maryland on a Thursday. We landed late on Thursday, and we had to go into work on Friday afternoon, right? So when we landed on Thursday, you know, it was still early by the time we landed, right? You know, we gained 3 hours. So we landed, and my coworkers were like, oh, you know what we need to do? We need to go up to Yosemite and then go to this casino. I'm not big into gambling, or I wasn't. So we went to Yosemite, and I was like, oh, like, it was crazy. Like, I'm a city boy, right? I don't know nothing about these big old trees in the middle of the forest, you know? So we see Yosemite and we see like Half Dome and El Capitan and Glacier Point and all of these things in Yosemite, which is dope, right? And we leave Yosemite and we drive down to the casino and we, my two coworkers and I, we go to the casino and I'm like, yo, I got this bright idea. I'm gonna get up and drive to LA in the morning. Who wants to go with me? And they're like, what time are you getting up? I'm like, I'm gonna be on the road at 6 a.m. or at 3 a.m. They're like, hell no, we got work tomorrow night. And I'm like, yeah, but I'll still be on East Coast time, so it's gonna be like 6 a.m. Even though it's 3 a.m. West Coast time. Like my body's not gonna be adjusted, so I'm gonna be up anyway, probably. And they were like, yeah, you're probably right, but hell no, we're not doing that. And I'm like, no, come on, one of y'all gotta go with me. Hell no, we're not going with you. All right, fine. Give me the keys to the truck. We had a F-150, a crew cab long bed. Now, mind you, this was back in 2003, maybe 2002, 2003. Freaking fuel prices were $4 a gallon. They're almost as high as they are now, but when it spiked back then, dude, I drove this big old truck down to LA, and it was like 3 or 4 hours that get down there. Drove down there, and then I hit traffic because like I said, true to form, I left at 3 o'clock in the morning, and then I was trying to get breakfast. Like I knew someone that lived out in that area, and he's like, you got to go to this breakfast spot. It's halfway between Fresno and LA. So he tells me, and this is well before like really good GPS on cell phones. So I had a damn map, and he told me where it was in the city, and I had to find it in the city, and I couldn't find anybody to be able to tell me. I finally found this like restaurant, diner / dive, whatever. Yo, it was so good. It was so good. The food was so good, and he ain't lied. Like the food was so good. And when I got to the place, I ordered like, the lady's like, oh, what can I get you? And I'm like, oh, I need to get a waffle. I need to get some breakfast meat. I want some grits. I want some eggs. And she's like, you never been here before, have you? I said, nah. She said, you're not gonna be able to eat all of this. I said, I don't care. I said, government's paying for my meal today. I said, I'll take the rest with me. Yo, the waffle came out. It was like a 9-inch plate waffle. I had a plate full of hash browns. I had a plate full of breakfast meat. I had a plate of eggs. Yo, it was crazy. And toast. And I said to the lady, I said, you didn't lie. I was like, yo, this is a lot of food. But guess what? Like I saw the hash browns had like some onions and cheese and chili on top of them, and like I ate my waffle. I think I ate my eggs and my breakfast meat. I'd saved the hash browns for later, boxed it up, threw it in the truck. I could keep going south. It was 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm starting to hit traffic in Burbank, right? So I'm like, oh well. I'm seeing signs for I-10. I'm headed south on I-5, right? So I see signs for 10. I'm like, well, I've never been to the Pacific Ocean. I'm gonna take the 10 west to go to Pacific Ocean. I go to Pacific Ocean. I'm in Santa Monica. I'm like, all right, well, hell, I'll find somewhere to park, get out the truck, take my shoes off, roll my pant legs up. I go out to the Pacific, dip my feet in the Pacific Ocean. Like, check that one off the bucket list. Been to the Pacific Ocean. I didn't even do anything on the Santa Monica Pier or go to Venice Beach or anything like that. I looked on the map and I saw Mulholland Drive. What? As a car guy, yo, I drove up and down Mulholland Drive like 2 or 3 times in this big old full-size F-150 crew cab, long bed. Yo, after I drove up and down Mulholland Drive 2 or 3 times, I said, well, now what? It's about noon. I need to be at work at like 5 o'clock. It's a 4-hour drive. I'm gonna stop and get lunch real quick. I got lunch at a truck on the side of the road in LA. Well, not LA. Somewhere in like the Palisades, whatever. And I drove up to PCH for a little while. I drove across Sunset Boulevard. I ended up getting gas. Gas was so high that I ended up having to like put, when like it would click at $75, I ended up having to do like twice to be able to get enough gas in the truck to be able to fill the joint up. Like, it was crazy. I had an absolute ball when I was out in California. And then on my way back from like Burbank, Palisades, all of that area back up to Fresno, I found this little sports car, and I can't remember if it was a Subaru or what. When I say I was moving, yo, I was bouncing off the rev limiter like the governor on that truck. It was like 92 or 93 miles an hour. I was cruising at 90. I'm like, it ain't my gas. Cruised at 90. I got back to Fresno in 3 hours. It was a 4-hour drive. I got back in 3 hours. When I got back, I was like, man, I got like time to take a shower and, you know, change my clothes and do all this other stuff, because I left in enough time, and I had a ball. Justin said, I have a bunch of people asking when I'm cooking. Even with the new smoker, I'm not motivated because there's no profit. Yep, there you go. That's the thing, man. Living Legend said, I'm in Fresno all the time. I fish in a bass club up there. If you ever touch down to LA, let me know. I'll take you bass fishing. So, unfortunately, the reason or the site for my company that worked out there, they closed the site in Fresno. So, I won't be going to Fresno anytime soon. Laura says I'm doing that too first after 3 years of lawyers, which I did pay because they hoes have no clue. Went online, did the paperwork myself just to have to get a court to stamp and send to the ex. Oh goodness. Cost me $7 to fill up the Ford Fusion in Los Angeles. Wow. Dog. It cost me $80 or so, maybe 90 to fill up that damn pickup truck, and that was years ago. So I can only imagine how much gasoline is now. First off, says she gave me the number to the separation lawyer. Oh, okay. Oh, y'all talking about divorce stuff. IJ says, yo, Dash, any new grills on the way? Phil, it's about time. Get don't say that, man. So, not gonna lie, I got a donation from one of you guys to put towards a smoker, and it's just been sitting in my bank account. Like, it's not burning a hole, because the whole thing is like, it's off season where I am, and with it being off season, I can't, like, not that I can't buy something, but the offerings will be better in about another few months. So I might be taking another trip taking a trip somewhere to purchase something. But yeah, but I do also have a cooker that I've never used that I've never used it. So Frida is one of the cookers that I've never used. So I want to clean her up and cook on it. First, okay, y'all talking. Hercules, yeah. Just posted a Super Bowl special on Facebook. I'm selling 50 cherry smoked wings and 15 pieces of barbecue chicken for $115. I did the math. I might clear $45 per special. That's a damn shame. Yep. I mean, it's one of those things where and you know what? So, Aziz Ansari, he put out I won't say he put out, but there was he did a Netflix or like a comedy special. It's on Netflix, and he was talking about somebody, and I can't remember who he was talking about. I don't think it was The Weeknd. It was an artist who, excuse me, a performing artist, like a music artist, and they said, it was saying something about you kind of perform when you want to. And the artist was like, yeah. He said, you know why? He said, because I'm comfortable making the money that I want to make. Something along those lines. I mean, I'm a little into it. And obviously, I watched this special a little while ago. And the whole thing is, he's like, basically, you have to be comfortable with making less money. Because, those people who, like, I grind. Like, I always have a hustle going on. I always have something going on. Always have my ear to the grind, always am available when, folks hit me up about transporting pinball machines or arcade cabinets. I'm Johnny on the spot. But I'm not going to break my neck to do something like that. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But if I can help, sure, I got you. But at the same time, just like, Justin said, or excuse me, Deesky said, the profit's not there. What's $45 per? Like, how much is your time worth? And I'm not trying to discourage anybody. I'm not trying to say that you can't make money, because you gonna make money in volume. You know what I mean? So, but I say all of that to say, sometimes you have to be comfortable with making less money. I'm comfortable right now with making less money because I don't want to water down my worth. Okay? And it's so funny. Laura says she needs water. Laura said, Justin said, I've been really thinking about making pizzas in my smoker. And if you have any YouTube videos on that. So, aside from like making pre-made pizzas from like Costco, well, not Costco, from Sam's or like Red Baron, I have some videos on that using my pizza stone. But I don't know, Justin. I won't say it's a slippery slope, but you kind of have to get the temperature right for the pizza. Justin says water, not water. Yeah. So Grumpus says he cooks pizzas in his firebox all the time. That's interesting. Mr. Big No, what's going on, man? It's been a minute. He said, what's your take on farmers market selling barbecue? Nothing wrong with that, man. I need to do something on a Saturday. A lot of the farmers markets in my area are on Sundays, so I can't, or at least right now, I can't do something on a Sunday. I told you guys, talked about how I go to the range, the pew range, and I work as a range safety officer. I'm having an absolute ball doing it, and I mean, it's extra money. I mean, basically it pays for my lunch all month long, and a little bit of here, a little bit there. I'm having an absolute ball. Like I really enjoy helping people, and I am a big Second Amendment advocate. And I feel like if I help people to understand that, pews aren't bad, and, you can have fun shooting, I feel like I'm doing a service to, I'm going to say my community, but to the 2A advocates. Living Legends is just FYI. Here we consider everything LA, Burbank, or Hawthorne. We consider LA. When someone asks where we live or say LA, they ask what part, then you get specific: Burbank, Hawthorne, etc. First love. Let's see. I finished the base of the deck, but since, holy cow, I'll be 50 years old next month, I'm handing the project over to a contractor to finish. D-Dub says, I feel you on the business slowdown. I wasn't fully booked to start, but I have had one order this month, 5 slabs of ribs, and a brisket order in a couple of weeks. So that's 2 orders this year. Dog, I have taken 0 orders this year. Oh, well, I have an order for some wings and some brisket for Super Bowl Sunday. So I've had 1 order this year. One. I mean, early in the year it's kind of slow, but there's people who miss barbecue and they're like, oh man, let me get some brisket, let me get some pulled. Actually, two. I'm sorry, I take that back. I've had two orders. I had somebody hit me up and he said, hey, next time you do some pulled pork, I need like 3 pounds of pulled pork. Okay, no problem. So when I do the other cook, I might cook some pulled pork and they're like, hey, I got this pulled pork for you. You know, you want it now? I'm like, listen, if I'm starting the fire, I'm gonna make the most of the fire. Grumpus and Papa Bear. Let's see. Hot coals pizza on top grate. It's just as good as in the oven. All right. Justin, he's giving Grumpus some ideas. He said, any videos? And Jimmy says, Dash, I might not be right, but the older I get, the more time seems to be. Oh my gosh, dude. Jimmy, you ain't never lied. And that's my thing right now. Because I'm comfortable with, like, there were times when, listen, Jimmy, I've talked about it. When I got laid off, I used to cook on a Monday, sell food on, well, I would cook Sunday into Monday morning, sell food on Monday, sell food on Tuesday, cook Tuesday into Wednesday, sell food Wednesday, sell food Thursday, cook on a Thursday, sell food Friday into Saturday. Or it would be, I would cook on a Monday and be selling food, or Sunday into Monday, selling food Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then I would be cooking again Thursday into Friday, selling food on Thursday, Friday, or excuse me, selling food on Friday. Then it would be like, all right, well, I gotta cook again on Friday, or I'd be cooking again on Saturday into Sunday, selling food on Sunday. That wasn't sustainable. Wasn't sustainable. It was unhealthy how little sleep I was getting. But you know what? Like, I was able to, that's what I had to do at that particular time. But just same thing. Now that I'm older, I'm comfortable with not, I don't have to have that particular income. And you know what? It's so funny. I say this, all right? I say this, but I won't say berated, but I got on my father-in-law a couple years ago. We were on our fishing trip, and I'm like, Pop, man, why don't you just work one extra job? Why don't you just work one extra, do one extra service call? Like, why do you stop? And he's like, I don't have to work anymore. I don't have to, like, he's just like, I do what I have to do to get by. And like, in this very moment, I get it. Where I'm like, nah, man, you need to hustle, because you work, if you book for 5, you do 7, yo, that's extra money. And then my thought was, when you really can't go out and get that money, or you don't feel like going to get that money, or something happens and you can't get that money, you have it. As opposed to needing 4 jobs and doing 3 and just being comfortable with making this. And I'm like, well, you can aspire to this, but I understand it. Like seriously, in this moment, I get it. Victor says the problem with using a smoker for pizza is they don't get hot enough. A good pizza cook temperature is at least 600 to 800 or 900 is best. It depends, Victor, because the big green egg, will do wonders at cooking a pizza at 400 degrees, 350, 400 degrees. Planting the seed, yeah. First Love says pew pew, man. You can't say, certain words YouTube just has a problem with. So Joseph's talking my language, pew pew life. Oh man, dude, I keep going back and forth about wanting to start a pew pew channel. Like, seriously, I have a few. Let me tell you, I bought a new one today. It was actually a homework assignment from the it's one of those things. It's like, we had a meeting, a team meeting from the range this past, it was Monday, and the owner, he was talking about something about improving something, and I'm like, I'm like, oh well, if you get a weapon from this particular place, I'm like, they have a checklist on what you need to do before you can basically finish with the, what is it, 4473 or 4373 or whatever, with that federal form. So I'm like, yeah, they have a checklist. They're like, what? A checklist? Like, yeah, no, none of y'all have gotten stuff from there. They're like, no. I'm like, damn, y'all really have been working here for way too long. Like, I'm still the new kid on the block, and man, like, I get my PPUs from all over. Like, so then I said, well, yeah, they have a checklist, and they do this and do that, with the checklist and yada yada. I'm like, okay. They're like, I said, well, want me to go get one from there and take pictures of the checklist? They're like, yeah. All right. So, and then my whole thing is on the range, like, people come out and, like, especially new shooters, especially women, they want to give them 9 mils to start. And I'm like, nah, they need to start with 22. Like, they need to get the fundamentals, and then the thing that we have to shoot for them or to try, we have a Ruger Mark IV, which is a freaking precision pistol, or we have the Glock 44, which is crap. Like, it's crap. So I'm like, nah, we need more 22s for rentals. And the owner was like, all right, well, who's gonna go and get us a 22? I'm like, I'll do it. Like, cause I'm a big advocate of letting people shoot 22, especially when they start out. Letting new shooters, letting women especially shoot 22 when they start out. So I was like, okay. I went and found a used one. It's like, bad. Picked it up. Now the only bad thing is I gotta wait 7 days to pick it up. Big Noah says I have one park on Wednesday and one local gym on Saturday. He said I love my second, sir. One in the park. I guess he's talking about like the farmers markets. Newcomb says I just want my howitzer shoe. No comment. Victor says farmers market depends on how many things I will be doing. My local farmers market next summer. There's no vendor food competition there, so lots of things to consider. All right. Grandpa says I use our cast iron pizza stone. So, it's funny, y'all talking about pizza. I actually bought pizza dough the other day, and I think I made a video of me making pizza in the oven. I do the same. I like to use my skillet. I have a 15-inch cast iron skillet that I use for making pizza. Mark says Mark says called working smarter, not harder. But damn sure. Grumpus says true, but not the smoker food chamber. I suggest the Weber kettle first, or better just get one of those portable pizza ovens. The Weber kettle for pizza, if you get the pizza attachment, but that's a lot of money for a pizza attachment. Justin says, Dash, I need a video about doing the books for a catering business. Justin, I do too. So read between those lines. I do my taxes based off of my YouTube income for the most part. Grumper says, as your age goes up, your give a crap goes down. You ain't never lied, Grumpus. Look, I'm a drink to that one because that was profound. He says, as your age goes up, I'll say it, your give a shit goes down because I don't give a shit. You can replace that S word with an F word because, if I wasn't on YouTube right now, I probably would do the same. DC says, guys, I did a catering event for 400 people. It was a 65th birthday party. Worked the hell out of me, but it paid well because the order was chicken, garlic, mashed potatoes, and corn, all affordable. Yep. And sometimes that's the thing. You can blow yourself out of the water by offering something that they can't afford, and then you'd be like, all right, well, you know what? I'm not gonna charge you $30 a pound. I'm gonna charge you $22 a pound. Well, now you're cutting into your own profit, and you are lowering your worth. Victor says Kamado in Japanese is cooker. They don't consider them smokers. Yes, Kamado can be used to bake. Jimmy says the Grumpus, I think my giver crap broke at 60. Well, Jimmy, are you older than 60? Joseph, man, if you ever in the Detroit area, we can hang out and do some pew pew, some barbecue, some dash shine. Oh, dog, you. Listen, let me just tell you something. Let me show you something. I'm ready for TSA travel. All right, we got that one there, and we got that one. Oh yeah, that one there. Oh damn, I just hit myself in the head. There's 7 of them in there. 7. Trust me, I'm ready for TSA travel. You ain't saying nothing but a word. Nothing but a word. Yo, this case, it ain't 50 pounds. So, yeah, it can. Oh, we can send it. I will check that and like carry 1 pair of pants, 2 t-shirts, a couple pairs of drawers in my carry-on, so I can check 1 bag and not have to pay a whole bunch of extra money. Cause yo, pew pew, say less, say less, say less. But see, and that's the thing. Like I'm afraid because I'm not gonna lie to you. If I put this effort into creating a pew pew channel on YouTube, I want to get paid. Like I want to make some money off of the channel. Like if I'm going to put myself out there and start showing you the weapons I have, the pistols I have, the rifles I have, talk about them, you know, I'm like, not for nothing, I'm trying to get some YouTube money off of them. And I know that I can. And actually, like I got an ace in my pocket. Like seriously, I have an ace in my pocket in a thing that could like pop off a channel, a pew pew channel for sure. But I just haven't followed through with it because I'm bullish on it basically. Joe said, yep, I started off with the 45, scared the crap out of her. My wife was scared the crap out of her with a 9. And I went down from a 9 to a 22, and she still wasn't too happy. And that's my whole thing, because I saw how, I won't say bad, but I saw how my wife's experience was with the 9. And then when I switched to 22, she still was not having the best of time. So I like when I'm at the range now, I make it my mission to make sure that the women especially are not completely overload, like a complete sensory overload. Because what's going to happen is you want the females to be advocates. You don't want them to be allies. You know what I mean? You don't want them to be against it. So like with my wife, I just need to, like, every now and again, I'm like, all right, come on, we're going to shoot now. Like, don't give her the option, we're going. Let's go. And sometimes it can be fun. Victor says I'll use the large piece of stone in the Weber kettle. It's cast iron and will not break. Large cast iron piece of stone is what I have. All right. But, yeah, 63. Yeah, man, dude, what? Is that a pew pew? Yeah. Let's Woodward Dream Cruise. Oh, dude. See? Yo, cars? What? Oh, yeah. Woodward is definitely on the list. Should get one because they did some stuff. You have to watch, like, cutting animal might not be good. Yeah. Big Nose is barbecue and brass. I love it. Yo. I'm not the Coleon Ward. Like, I'm not that guy. That dude. Sometimes I take what he has to say with a grain of salt. Like, for real, sometimes, I be taking it a bit too far. It's like, I would, like, I'm not on the let's go Brandon train, if you know what I'm saying. Nah. But, I mean, listen, I get it, but my whole thing is I want to open a discussion, and I want to have a rational discussion. And if I could like talk to people, or if I could, say, you know what, come out with me, come on out, and go to the range, and let's have a discussion. Let's have an educated discussion. And to me, the problem, or one of the problems, is not, So I've talked about it. I actually am in the process of getting my in Maryland, it's called a wear and carry. It's concealed carry. All right. I'm in the process of getting that. Hold on, let me try to focus this. There we go. I'm in the process of getting my wear and carry for the state of Maryland. And the reason being is because I want to be a good guy with the pew pew. All right. There's a lot of bad guys out there with the pew pew, and I want to be the first line of defense for my family. I don't want to depend on, the response time. I feel like this is like out of focus. Maybe it's just my eyes. Am I out of focus, y'all? But I want to be the first line of defense. Okay, I want to, if you ever watch MMA, all right. They always, one of the prevailing lines is like, don't leave it into the judge's hands. I don't want to leave it in the judge's hands. I'm trying to be, look, I want to control my destiny. Laura says, can't wait because I can get back into hunting. Sure enough. Legend says, what do you think about having ribs over open flames? My favorite way to cook ribs is on the Weber Smoky Mountain. I think you cannot cook ribs hot and fast. I said it. Listen, it's one of those things where, pet peeve, all right? You cannot cook ribs hot and fast. Like, just can't. They don't come out right. Now, that's also from someone who doesn't eat ribs, but they don't come out right. I don't eat pork ribs. Victor says, Jimmy, I turned 63 this May. May 5th, when most Americans celebrate my birthday. With Mexican theme for some reason, yeah. Jimmy says, I knew you had some sheepdog in you. Me? Sheepdog? I've tried it so many times. Those people that need convincing will not come with me to learn about So, Joe, my whole thing is this, right? Because I don't want to teach them about it. I want to go about it in a different manner, because I have a coworker, right? And I was talking to her today, and I could just see she's like, "What do you mean it doesn't have a safety?" It's one of those things. If you don't understand how it works, then you want a safety. But once you understand how it works, you realize that the safety is actually a hindrance in your protection. You don't want a safety. And she's like, well, if you drop it, it's going to go off. No, that's not going to happen. Like, there's a trigger safety. Well, then there's a safety. It's not the safety you're thinking about. That's an active safety. You want a passive safety where I have to flip a switch or turn a dial in order to be able to finish the action, right? Like that's not what you're talking about. Laura says, I'm part pit bull. I don't back down. Yeah. Laura says, some rifles, if you bump the butt of the stock, can go off. It's not good. You're right. But Laura, it's one of those things. Like, if I had to start somebody out on something, an adult, I can start them out on a pistol. A child, I'm gonna start them out on a rifle. My kids, I started them out on rifles because I don't want that pistol to jump out of their hands. And you know what's crazy is taste tester number 2 prefers to shoot the 22s that I have over the 9mm. Now, taste tester number 1, he's back guano crazy. He enjoyed popping off my 45. And I'm like, bro, what? T-Rock says, how can I get it concealed in Utah faster than Maryland? Because Utah, no, I have a active concealed in Florida. Just because, let me just tell you. So I did my paperwork for Maryland, and in doing the paperwork for Maryland, the guy who held my class, he's like, well, the amount of hours we have in instruction, you have completed the NRA course, yada yada, blah blah blah. He said the 2 easiest states to get with the NRA course are Florida and Arizona. He said all you have to do is take a picture for Florida, send your money, and you're good. Okay. Well, my mother-in-law moved to Florida, and I didn't even really put one and one together. But when we went down there to stay with her, like to help her get moved in, I'm like, yo, while I'm here, I'm gonna go ahead and get my passport photo done, and then I could like submit this paperwork that I've been carrying around in my bag for like almost a year, so I can get my permit for Florida. Like, yeah. I go to the place where I need to turn it in, and they're like, oh no, we don't need your, like, oh, because I was gonna go to get my fingerprints done. And they're like, oh no, you get your fingerprints, you take your picture here, you do all of those things, and you submit your paperwork electronically. Oh, you filled it out on paper? That's cute, but we're not using that. I'm like, okay. They're like, it's like 15 extra bucks or so, we'll do it all electronically and it'll process much faster. I'm like, okay. Dude, I was in Florida, went to the office. It took me not even an hour in the office in Florida. Not even. I mean, it was like a half hour to do my fingerprints, to take my picture, to fill out the paperwork, all of those things. And I had my card in the mail in 2 weeks. Here's the kicker too. The dude that helped me knew who I was from my barbecue videos. I can't make this stuff up. I sat down and I'm like talking to him and this and the other. He was like, oh, he's like, because I had on a shirt that says Still Drum Smokers, not one of these, one of my the bowling shirts, as Laura says. And he's like, what's that? I'm like, I do barbecue on YouTube. He was like, that's where I seen you before. That's where I know you from. I'm like, what? He's like, I knew you from somewhere. I just couldn't figure out where. He got to talking. I was like, what? You know who I am? He was like, yeah. So, yeah, T-Rock. So, once Florida was easy. Once I get Maryland, I'm going to start trying to collect the states around me, the surrounding states, and I will probably start off with, Utah, because Utah encompasses or has an umbrella over 27 other states. But the whole thing is, I really want to have from Pennsylvania down to Florida at least, because I travel up and down the East Coast. So Pennsylvania, Delaware, Virginia, DC. This is a crapshoot. So Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. I already have Florida, so I'm working backwards now. Living Legend says, don't like Kobe, don't eat pork ribs. He said, I like you, Dash. Well, thank you, man. Look, I'm a simple dude, man. I tell you, If you just watch my videos, man, you see, I'm the same. I'm the same. Victor says, sorry, Dash, I disagree. I do my baby backs in an hour and a half, hot and fast with no sauce. My customers say the best they've ever had. I say the best they, I said it, man who doesn't eat, I say to the man who doesn't eat pork. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But Victor, here's the thing, right? It's not that I won't eat pork. I choose not to. So if I'm in Washington State and you make ribs, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to try your ribs. I mean, if you can show me a better way and prove to me that it works, and I can approve of the technique, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to be eating them every damn day, but if I have to eat them once, if I have to try them, I usually can count on one hand how often I eat pork. And again, it's a health reason. So it's not that I don't like. It's not that I'm allergic, or it's like, oh my God, I'm gonna die if I have. No, it's 100%, health reasons. So I just choose not to. No, he is in Washington State, Laura. No problem, Joe. Like, seriously. Just I'm taking Harry Suzanne officially. Again, it's August or September. Again, really looking forward to it. Well, yeah, man. Shoot, I would too. I mean, listen, nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. Let's see here. Bring the action. I gotta do something like that. I've been in a funk lately. And it's not just like a cooking funk, it's just like a life funk. I'm telling you, I could create, I have a sob story. And I'm not trying to bore you guys, and I talked to you guys something about it last week, and I mean, like, seriously, it's just been one thing after another. One thing after another. Yeah. But, we are 2.5 hours in, and I think we are pretty golden. Hey, look, if you have not already, hit that thumbs up button for me. I'd greatly appreciate it if you could. Because Dash, I don't believe my way of doing any kind of barbecue is the only way. There are many paths to the same direction. Yes, indeed. Victor, you've been around long enough. You hear me say, my mom always said, there's more than one way to skin a cat. All right? I'm a firm believer in that, okay? Firm believer. Just because I do it one way doesn't mean it's the right way. It just means that it's my way. All right? Laura says, miss so much living here because I love fishing. Where I lived could be on the water in 10 minutes and go out. Got into 4 different water systems, 5 minutes from where I lived. Could hunt. Yep. Hey, thanks, Jimmy. I was looking at that comment. I'm like, yeah, it's all right, whatever. You still got Bernadette. My last boat was named Bernadette after Bernadette Stannis, Thelma from Good Times. What? Good Times. Let's see. BERNADETTEST. Bernadette Stannis. Bernadette. What? Her name was not Bernadette. It was Bernadette. Like 2 words. All right. Well, so it says Bernadette Stannis, also billed as Bernadette Stannis, born Bernadette, December 22nd, 1953, is an American actress and author. Stannis is best known for her role as Thelma Evans on the Thelma Evans, the only daughter of Florida and James Evans, on the CBS sitcom Good Times. She was Thelma. See, you older than I am. Which originally ran from 74 to 79. She authored 4 books. It says Situations 101, Relationship to Good, the Good, Bad, and Ugly, for Men Only, Situations 101, Finances, and The Last Night. Alright. This is Wikipedia page, which is very sparse. She's from Brooklyn. She went to Juilliard. Okay. She was a Miss Black America pageant. I like learning stuff about people. She hasn't been in anything recently. Nope. So, cool. Like, I don't think I could, pick her out of a lineup nowadays, but I also didn't watch Good Times like that. And I was a little, I was young. Oh boy. Let's see. Grumpus has been a tough 2 years. Lots and lots of funk going around. I got a case of it, dude. I did too. I talked about it 2 weeks ago. I was like, yeah, I'm sitting in a room by myself, and I wasn't trying to say what it was, but that's what it was. I had a cold. That was it. But I tested, and it was like, hey, you're positive. I'm like, what? Yeah, I sat in a room by myself for 7 days or so. Terry says, I'm back to fix the wife's lunch. Oh, I had to fix the wife's lunch for tomorrow. No problem. Yo, Johnny is here. What's going on, man? Johnny be popping in. Yo, it's 11:30. I am. You see my eyes, Johnny? I am. I am about to fall over. Glad to see you though, Johnny. Man, I appreciate you popping in and stopping by. I feel like I gotta get Johnny's head out, but Johnny's head is over there. It's on a safe. Like I gotta physically get up and get Johnny's head. Hold on, let me get Johnny's hat. Cause Johnny be here all the time. Hold on. I feel like I need to get Johnny's hat. So we're taking a long trek across the room to get Johnny's hat. Where is Johnny's hat? Go. No, that's not Johnny's hat. Where's Johnny's hat? Uh-oh. No, that's not Johnny's hat. Oh, wait, let me check one other place. Johnny, sorry. I didn't throw your hat away or anything. It's just my wife demands that I put this stuff away. She's like, move it. That's not Johnny's hat. Where are you? I'm still looking, Johnny. Give me a second. If I were Johnny's hat, where would I have been moved to? What? Maybe it fell. I got too much stuff sitting on top of the thing over here. That's, folks. I gotta take a deep dive and find your hat. I know it's here. There. Dropping stuff. Y'all heard that? Oh. Feels like Humpty Dumpty there. Had a great fall. Right now I'm on a mission to find Johnny's hat because I don't know where it is. That's not it. Kind of bugged me. And other folks' hats. Maybe it went into the hat bag. My wife has a bag where she puts the kids' hats. So, Johnny, remind me please. Sorry. Remind me please to find your hat this week. Well, that's good, Laura, that you didn't have to worry about it. We can hear you whispering. Oh, boy. Right there. Yeah. So, I'm about to head to bed, too, because it's been over 2 hours. 2 hours and 41 minutes. I have some homework. If you see or notice me watching a video of yours, feel free to offer some, just say thanks for watching or something. Anyway. All right, guys. Hey, listen, if you have not already, please hit that thumbs up button for me. I'd greatly appreciate it. It really does help me out. Makes me feel better about myself. And it helps the channel. Also, last but not least, it helps these videos. So I greatly appreciate it. Yeah, Laura, same here. Both vaccine shots and the booster. Johnny, did remind me to find your hat. Like, I know your hat is around here somewhere. Just gotta find it. Someone put it away. Laura says, good night. Take care. Bye for now, Dash. Maybe I'll be home soon. Wish me luck. Good luck for sure. Jimmy says, night, guys. Everyone, have a great rest of the week. Sure enough, Jimmy, you too, sir. You too. Take great care. And I'll talk to you guys. Hey, Mark, really appreciate your feedback and your perspective. Like, seriously, I value your feedback and perspective. Check one of the kids' rooms. Unfortunately, I don't think it's them. I think it was the missus. She probably moved it somewhere. It's probably in we have like a hat bag. I call it a hat bag, but there's like hats and gloves and scarves. It probably made its way in there. So I'll check in there in the morning because I'm not doing it right now. Anyway, Johnny, you guys take great care. Thank you so very much. Mark, thanks again, like I said, for your unique perspective. And, really appreciate you guys hanging out. So I'm gone. All right, Grumpus, he says, good night, Dash, and everybody. Yes, sir. Thank you. See y'all next week. Oh, man, Mark, thank you, sir.